Well, hey y'all, it's Tuesday. Well, welcome back. So I hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving had its ups and downs, as it should when you have 7 people, including 4 children, and a husband that eats way too much sometimes and makes himself sick. But we're still grateful and thankful that we got to be together and that we got to eat so good, and we got most of all the food eaten. We've got a little bit of ham left and a little bit of turkey. We'll talk about that in a minute. So first of all, I want to talk to you about today. Friday was Black Friday and yesterday was Cyber Monday and today is Giving Tuesday. So that's one thing we're going to talk about, is Giving Tuesday. And the second thing we're going to talk about are some things that I watched this weekend. And then we're going to talk about kind of my lopsided menu of this week. Okay, so first of all, Giving Tuesday. I love Giving Tuesday because I'm all about service above self, so it really resonates with me. And I happen to have 2 options for you today if you're in the giving spirit. One I found from a friend of mine on Instagram, and one is a little bit more personal, but there's some options for you to get you thinking about giving in this holiday season. Okay, so first up, yesterday, some person that I follow, a person that you call a friend on Instagram, posted some pretty cool posts about her husband and service, which also led into recommending a website called Like the World. And so the website is liketheworld.org, and you can go to that website and they'll send you texts daily of kind of simple acts of kindness that you can do to help others and help light the world in your own way. And if you are on Instagram, then you can use the hashtag #LikeTheWorld to share with everybody else who's participating the different things that you're doing. And in addition, after I told her that I'd went and signed up, she mentioned to me that they also have a printable calendar that you can print out and post up at your home so that your children can participate with you, or at least kind of know what you're doing and maybe get into the idea of giving in this season as well. So today's text that they sent out was to give blood. And if you were unable to give blood, then you could text ALT and they would give you another suggestion for something that you could do today to serve others. I don't even know, after as many blood transfusions as I had a couple years ago, if I could give blood, but I certainly have I'm very, very grateful for everybody who does give blood, obviously, because it saved my life. But I'm going to be hard pressed to get near needles again. And again, I don't know what the time span is between when I could actually give blood. So I sent an alt text to get a second thing that I could do, and it was give away or donate to an organization or give to someone in need some clothes. So I've got a ton of clothes from the children that I keep promising myself that I'm going to organize and sell. But there's this one box in the garage that has went through like 2 garage sales, and I've not done anything with it in all this time. So I'm definitely going to get that over to one of the donation centers today to fulfill my little role in participating in Like the World, because again, that's something that's really important to us. I always say that to the girls, be the light, and you hear me say it all the time that I want to be the light. So if you're interested in a simple way that you can just give through acts of service, I would encourage you to go check out that website. Now, the second thing that you could do, like I said, that's a little bit more personal and close to our particular home. And I've participated and donated to GoFundMe pages, but I've never actually promoted one or knew anybody really directly in my interpersonal family or inner circle of friends that had a GoFundMe page. However, earlier this summer, and Lord help me for crying, earlier this summer, cancer came into our family, not in my immediate family, in my daughter's. Their grandmother, their dad's mom, was diagnosed with cancer, and it's kind of in the 3 zone as far as stages go, I believe. And So, and her, you know, she's got a good history of this in her family. And so she's been battling since July. She works one full-time job and a part-time job. And beyond just being an amazing woman and the grandmother of my daughters, you know, this woman is beyond selfless. She raised 3 children of her own, and one of those children of hers, she raised all 7 of her children as well. So she's dedicated her life to her grandchildren and her children and serving people in her church and her community in any way that she can. And so the reason why she set up a GoFundMe page is because we're about to round into the first of the new year, and so that means all of her out-of-pocket costs and all of her deductibles, all of those are going to start completely over. And there's not a lot of organizations to help individuals who actually are working and are not on like a Medicaid health insurance program or something like that. So there's been a couple of things that they found to help with the funding of the chemo, but the thing that's really going to cause her a lot of struggle next year is re-meeting all of those deductibles out of pocket while continuing chemo. So she's going to be in chemo all the way up through January, and then she'll have surgery, and then she'll start radiation. And so she's still got quite a bit of a journey in front of her, but she still gets up nearly every single day of the week and goes to work, and every Sunday is in church and stays after to serve and love on anybody that she can. So I'll put a link down below in the description, and if you have a heart to lend some giving to my family, then you can make a contribution to help out the girl's Nina. Her name is Loeva Garland Bickman, and she is a gem, a true gem. If everybody could have a grandma like her, they'd be doing good in life. So now, to conclude with Giving Tuesday, I hope that was all good stuff for your heart to receive, and I definitely want to encourage you to find some way to give or serve this season. And the number one reason for that is because when you feel most down in your life, the easiest way to get back up is to just put your heart into serving or giving or doing something for somebody else, and it will get you up out of a hole quick. So if the holidays are tough for you, find some way in your community or in your family or in the people around you to give and serve, or even just do the like the world thing. You know, you could do that. Okay, so let's talk about what I watched this weekend. I don't think I actually watched any Outlander in between the time that we saw each other, but as I kind of mentioned, my husband got kind of sickly from eating a lot. He has kind of like these, what do you call that thing? Gallbladder attacks. He has it pretty well under control, but Thanksgiving just kind of, boom, hit him hard. So he literally had a Black Friday. So that kind of put me watching some things on my own. And one thing I watched, which is a really long show, it's called The Irishman, and it's kind of one of those old school kind of mob gangster movies with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. And you know, I've seen all those old movies and I really liked them, and so I got into it, and I actually was looking to watch something that would last a while. So I got caught up in it, and my husband, he didn't watch it with me, but he read reviews and said there were a lot of mixed reviews out there about it, but I liked it. I thought it was a great to see those those actors who are more mature and of age now, see them again in movies now that they were in similar type movies in the past, even with Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa. That was cool. And I thought the anti-aging technology that they used to make Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro look younger was pretty cool, in spite of the brilliant blue eyes that it gave Robert De Niro. I also mentioned to my husband that I thought it was some of the best acting I've seen by Robert De Niro. That really surprised him because we all know he is a really dynamic actor. But for me, I guess I've always seen him as somebody that whatever that role is, that's exactly what he is. If he's a bad guy, he's a bad guy to the core. If he's a funny guy, he's a funny guy to the decor. But in this, I really thought that we got to see a lot of different levels of him and a wide range of acting on his part. And so I dug it. It was good, you know. Another one that I watched that was really heavy watch was American Son. It really kind of hit close to home. You know, it was about a West Point bound biracial student, and you know, he got caught up in a situation, and it's not unlike, you know, situations that face a lot of teens that are of different races or biracial, and so it was a gut clincher. And if you for awareness of anything, you should take a look at that movie just to get a glimpse of what looking at those children through a different lens could look like for you know, somebody that doesn't parent those type of children like I do. But kind of to keep me from crying, I actually started watching Call the Midwife last night, and we both kind of enjoyed it. I didn't think that my husband would be into it, and I am always trying to look for something that I could just maybe look at every now and then on my own, but he sat down and actually got into it, and so that's kind of how cool he is. But I really I'm enjoying it. We're just only in the first season, and there's a lot of seasons, so I don't expect to get to the end of that anytime soon, and it'll just be something kind of that we can watch in the background. Now, on to this week's menu. So after eating leftovers all weekend long, on Sunday night, I was kind of done. I didn't get my chili dogs on Friday, so I wanted them on Sunday night. Everybody else was having like what we had of leftover sides, like mashed potatoes and stuff like that, with some chicken breasts that we had in the freezer. And you know, I think I might be off the chili dogs for a little while, because it just didn't sit with me right. And so I might have to leave that to my summer menu. Who knows? So on Sunday, we just kind of did a free-for-all. And then last night we had a ham bone soup, because we did have ham for Thanksgiving, and we still have quite a bit of meat left over from it, but we also had a good size ham bone. And so we made that soup last year after Thanksgiving, and this year it was just even better. Now we can't wait till Christmas when we can get another ham and make another big pot of soup. Tonight, obviously, we're gonna have tacos because it's Taco Tuesday and it's easy. I'm trying to kind of work with what I've got in the kitchen this week too. On Wednesday, we're going to have leftover ham casserole, which is kind of like a pasta with broccoli, and I've got a little bit of cauliflower in the refrigerator too. I'm going to throw that in there, but that'll use up the rest of that ham that we've got. And on Thursday, I really need something, so if you've got an idea, definitely leave it down below for me. I've got, you know, probably a half-gallon freezer bag full of turkey that I need to use, and I don't really care for turkey, so if you've got a casserole idea or even a soup idea, you can spin that over to me so I can figure out what to do with that on Thursday. On Friday, instead of chili dogs, I'm just gonna have the crock pot beer chili. It's a recipe that I got off Instagram. I think I've talked about it before. Easy to do, and I love crock pot recipes, so that'll work out for us. So if you've got something that you're involved in as far as giving this season, I definitely want to hear about it below. And if you've got an idea for something to do with that turkey, let me know. Otherwise, I just want to thank you so much for checking in and letting me ramble off what's going on in my world to you on Tuesdays. I hope you have the best day ever, and until next time,